And actually, he should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I'm going to give you a hint of who it is. J.J. Watt is the hybrid of that player, because J.J. Watt does all the same things that player did.
Good hint. Good hint.
What do you think of that, Gary?
Yeah, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame as well. Actually, I think he should have been in already a long time ago.
Yeah.
Even before Terrell,
Yeah. Absolutely. Do any of you know the process, how they do that? Or
it's done by writers, like sports writers, sports announcers, and they have some of a fan vote, don't they, Gary?
Yeah, they have a 48 selection committee that votes them in. And I'll tell you right now that 80% of them voted Terrell in this year, out of 48.
How many voted him? I didn't get to hear that. Sorry about that.
There's 48 selection committee members, and he had 80% vote.
Okay.
Awesome. That's right. Does that change every year? You think you would have got in, a year before this?
Yeah.
No, I'm like you, Denise. I'm not sure exactly how all that works, but I did read that.
And in all honesty, it's the same voters every year. The voters only change only maybe one or two voters change every year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why I don't get it. What's taking so long? Yeah, that's interesting.
Is this the Associated Press, Ike?
What's that?
That's doing the is this the Associated Press that's doing the voting?
It's beat writers.
Oh, okay.
And then some sports announcers.
So
it's people like Page, Woody Page, Dan Lebitard. It's all those. Some of them have shows on like ESPN or something, but most of them are beat writers. They just write columns in in the major cities. I'd say about a little over 50% are mostly beat writers, and then you have some of your sports announcers, and then you have I don't know how much the fan vote counts, but you do have a little bit of the fan vote that goes in there, just a couple percentage of it all, not a whole lot of it all.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's we're here. We're here, so we just got to be happy Terrell's in. Now you're right. Atwater got to go in. So does Pat Bolin, and then your trivia question one should have been in. I didn't say the name. Should have been in a long time ago.
Right.
And then we do a conspiracy theory show, Gary, and there's something that's going around called the Mandela effect. And Floyd Little, this is a Mandela effect. Some people remember him being in the Hall of Fame, and some people don't remember him being in the Hall of Fame. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he is.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Little.
But you can ask 100 out of 100 people, and 50 people will tell you that he's not in the Hall of Fame. Post it in your group and ask anybody if they know if he's in the Hall of Fame. And I bet you people will be like, I didn't know he was in the Hall of Fame. It's a Mandela effect.
Was he the first to get in the Hall of Fame, Mike?
Floyd Little?
Yeah.
No. John Elway was the second. Who was the first?
Well, we got Shannon Sharp that's in there.
Yeah, I know John Elway was second. So let me think. I can't. I'm trying to remember off the top of my.
Oh.
That's actually a good trivia question because
it is.
Was it Gary Zimmerman, or did he go in as a?
Yeah, Gary Zimmerman. That's right. He's in there.
But did he go in as a Minnesota Viking, or did he go in as a Bronco?
You know, that's a good question. I'm not sure. Because he was with the Vikings before he came to us.
I know he's in the Hall of Fame. I just can't think. I don't know who the first. I'm gonna have to go with John Elway. John Elway is the first Bronco to ever be in the Hall of Fame. The first official Bronco. Because you have Floyd Little in the Hall of Fame, John Elway, Gary Zimmerman, Shannon Sharpe, and now Terrell Davis. You have 5 players in the Hall of Fame. So,
right.
John Elway was the first official Bronco in the Hall of Fame, but I think Gary Zimmerman went in before. But like I said, Gary Zimmerman had to have went in as a Minnesota Viking, but he won his Super Bowl here in Denver. So I'm gonna let's just call it a toss up right there, 1-1. But officially, I think John Elway is the first Bronco ever to go into the Hall of Fame, and that took a long time to get. That's why I said there is still a East-West Coast bias, because all these East Coast players are getting in the Hall of Fame, and West Coast players are getting in the Hall of Fame, and all the Midwestern, the Broncos, Chicago's still missing a lot of players that ain't in the Hall of Fame, and there's a lot of teams that are missing. Kansas is missing tons of players that ain't in the Hall of Fame. And
yeah.
So it's because they're smaller markets, so people don't really get to see those players. That's why I said people don't really know the greatness of John Elway. John Elway is the GOAT. Nobody is ever going to be as good as him, or it's John Elway's a 1 in 50 year player, or 1 in a lifetime player. People did not get to see him play. I think that if all the writers, all the sports announcers got to see him play week in, week out, people would have a different take on his, when you talk about who's the greatest of all time. People would really have a different take.
Good point there. I looked it up real quick, and Gary Zimmerman's listed as a Bronco in the Hall of Fame, from what I saw.
Yeah,
so,
and then Gary Zimmerman has to be the first one in then. The other Bronco that's not listed on there who played for the Broncos was Tony Dorsett, who went in as a Dallas Cowboy, but he did play. He did play in '94 and '95 for the Broncos.
So I'm still not sure what he went in as. It wasn't very specific, So that just did it quick. Interesting.
Yeah, it is. I'm almost positive officially it's John Elway. But if Gary Zimmerman
that's what I would say.
If Gary Zimmerman decided to go in as a Bronco, then it's Gary Zimmerman.
Yeah, he's listed as Bronco Hall of Famer, so I don't know.
Because Gary Zimmerman retired after the first winning Super Bowl, so he retired in '98, and then John Elway retired in '99. And I don't think they went into the Hall of Fame together.
No.
I'll have to go back and look at that. So I really think Gary Zimmerman went in. Because Gary Zimmerman went in right away. From what I remember. So it's pretty crazy. But really, the Floyd Little thing, it's the Mandela effect. Because I know now that he's in the Hall of Fame. But I originally didn't know he was in the Hall of Fame.
That's interesting.
And he only went in like two years ago, I think. I think he went in 2014.
That took him some years then to get in.
Yeah, you should run that in the group, Gary, and see how many people actually know. I know a lot of people are going to Google it and find out he is, but you should talk to people and see how many actually know that he's in the Hall of Fame. And you'll be shocked on the people that don't know that he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I bet you're right. I bet you're right. I bet because number 44, he was really our first grade running back. And then I mean, he used to run downfield. I like Floyd Little. I mean, I grew up watching him as well, and he's one of the greats.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't get in. Actually, he didn't get in until 2008. It was like 10 years later.
Who's that? Who are you talking about?
Gary Zimmerman.
Oh, he didn't get into 2008. Then John Elway.
No.
John Elway's the first Bronco ever to go into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
There's nobody else. Then John Elway's the first one.
Yeah, because I just looked up when he went in, and it said 2008. I was like, wow.
But look at who they're missing. They're missing Randy Gradishaw. They're missing Tom Jackson. They're missing Louis Wright. They're missing. I know that Lyle Alzado's in the Hall of Fame, but he's not in as a Bronco. He's in as a Raider. And he's the one that really led the Broncos to the Super Bowl in 77, 78.
See, I don't understand the process.
Yeah, what's always confused me, and I've been researching it as much as possible, is the who do they go in as? Like what team? Like when Peyton Manning goes into the Hall of Fame, is Peyton Manning going to go in as an Indianapolis Colt, or is he going to go in as a Denver Bronco? Because he won a Super Bowl with both teams, and he's the first quarterback to ever do that.
That's true. That's a good question.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Gary?
Well, he retired Denver Broncos.
What's that?
That's true.
So I would venture to say that he'd go in as a Denver Bronco Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I would think. Yeah, I think he would go with Denver only because the Colts kind of left him high and dry there. I think.
But then think about this. You got Joe Montana.
Oh yeah.
He played for Kansas City, but he's in the Hall of Fame as a
49er. Yeah.
As a 49er.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's a lot to.
Maybe
that's where all his rings came from.
Yeah. So he's in the Hall of Fame.
Is it their choice what team to go in as?
Geez, I have no idea.
You remember when Jerry Rice retired? He ended up switching it up, but he retired as a Denver Bronco, and he didn't even make the team.
Yeah, that was weird. That's why I'm saying, is it their choice, or do they vote them, or do they vote them in as whatever team? You know, it'd be interesting to find out some of this stuff. I think. How that process works, maybe for next year's sports or something.
Yeah,
I think it'd be interesting to get into the process of that.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, I think.
Well, with Peyton Manning, he had the choice of retiring as a Bronco or retiring as a Colt. Am I right there?
Yeah, they could retire. Yeah, either way. But I honestly. That's why the Peyton Manning is going to be the confusing one because you have to go into the Hall of Fame as either a Bronco or a Colt. You have to pick a team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do they pick the team themselves, or does the
player does? The player picks the team.
Yeah, I would think he would go in as a Bronco only because I think Indiana Colts, they left him high and dry pretty much after his neck surgery. They were like, you're a liability, whatever the case. Denver took the chance, and wow. So
boy, did he prove them wrong.
Oh yeah, two super. Yeah, Gary said that he proved them wrong. He did 2 Super Bowls out of it, coming to Denver, and then.
Right.
Breaking the all-time season passing record.
You're darn right. Colts gave up on him after his neck surgery.
Yeah.
I think they were afraid he'd get hurt, or whatever the case. But Denver got him, and Colts. So.
I know. Now we got another Super Bowl. But now
I think he would choose the Broncos.
Yeah,
I think he would. But you never know.
He will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He will.